Today, I'll show you how to crochet the Glow Noel from Shiny Phone Pouch. The bag mainly consists of the main part and Santa Claus decorations. Check out my demonstration for the crochet method. First, let's learn the crochet technique for the main part. We start with a chain cast on. I'm using cotton yarn for this demo since it has fewer stitches. For exact stitch count, yarn options, and hook size, refer to the printed pattern instructions. Note that the number of chains must be even. Tie a knot first. Then cast on an even number of chains. For this small sample demo, I made 10 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Place stitch markers on the first and last chain stitches. Now crochet the first round. Start with 3 turning chains for the double crochet. Then, on the last chain stitch of the cast on, which is where we placed the stitch marker, pick up the front loop and make 2 double crochets. Next, starting from the second chain from the hook, pick up 1 loop in each chain stitch, and make 1 double crochet. Follow this pattern until you reach the second chain stitch of the cast on. Then, we need to make 3 double crochets on the first chain stitch of the cast on. 1, 2, 3. Then, pick up the other half loop of the second chain stitch, and continue making double crochets. While crocheting, weave in the starting tail of the yarn. Now we've reached the second to last chain stitch of the cast on. Then, join with a slip stitch to the third chain stitch of the cast on. Right here. Pull tight. The first round is complete. The pattern for this round is 3 double crochets at both the beginning and end chains, and 1 double crochet on each side of the remaining chains. The stitch count for this round of double crochets is twice the cast on number plus 2. The 3 chains at the beginning count as 1 double crochet. Let's count to confirm. Since my swatch started with 10 stitches, my first round has 22 stitches. Next, we'll work the second round. Make 3 chain stitches as the turning chain for the double crochet. Then make 1 chain stitch as an interval. Skip 1 double crochet stitch. Work a double crochet in the third double crochet stitch. Then work 1 chain stitch as an interval. Skip 1 stitch. Work a double crochet. Continue this pattern all the way around to complete the round. While crocheting, tidy up the fabric and flip it over. Then join with a slip stitch to the third braid of the turning chain. Pull tight. This completes the second round. This is the bottom of the bag. This is the body of the bag. Now we pull the loop slightly bigger. Then place the yarn at the back. For the third round, we need to add color to the second color yarn. We can start with a slip knot first. Adjust the size of the loop. The stitch with 3 braids is our turning chain from the previous round. The new color, which is color 2, needs to be worked into the double crochet stitch that was skipped next to it. While crocheting the double crochet, it should wrap around the chain stitch from the previous row. First, insert the hook into the double crochet stitch. Then pick up color 2 and draw the loop through. Chain 3 for the turning chain of the double crochet, then work 1 chain stitch. Skip 1 stitch. Continue with a double crochet, wrapping around the chain stitch from the previous round, then work a double crochet into the double crochet stitch below. Chain 1, continue wrapping around the chain stitch, and work a double crochet into the double crochet stitch below. Follow this pattern to complete the round. While crocheting, hide the yarn tail. The last double crochet should be worked into the right side of the turning chain from the previous round. This is the previous round. Place the loop at the front. Join with a slip stitch to the third braid of the turning chain. Pull tight and enlarge the loop. This is the third round, where color 2 is added. You'll notice it's staggered and offset from the previous round. Now work the fourth round. Insert your hook into the color 1 loop. Tighten the loop. Then the color 2 loop is on the left side of the color 1 loop. On its left side. Chain 3 as the beginning double crochet. 1 chain interval, following the same method as the previous round. Place the previous round's yarn at the back, no need to wrap it in. Continue to wrap the turning chain from the previous round. Then insert into the double crochet stitch below and make a double crochet. Then chain 1. Make a double crochet, chain 1. Double crochet, chain, follow this pattern to complete the round. When reaching the last stitch, join with a slip stitch to the third chain of the turning chain. Next, place the color 1 yarn at the back. We'll work the next round, which uses color 2 yarn, following the same method as the previous round. Each round actually uses the same technique, just alternating between color 1 and color 2. You can refer to the previous method to crochet the corresponding number of rounds. Adjust the height of the bag according to your phone's required height. The yellow yarn I'm demonstrating with is color 2, which is on the left side of color 1, so pull color 1 outward while crocheting. Avoid accidentally catching it inside. Pull a large loop. Let's take a look at color 1, which is the color shown in my current frame. Color 2 is the newly added yarn. We can see that both color 1 and color 2 are crocheted in straight lines because they're offset, but actually form a straight line. Now let's continue crocheting downward. This is what it looks like after completing 6 rounds. Continue crocheting downward to your desired height. I won't demonstrate further down. Now I'll show you the 2 edging rounds after completing the bag's main part. For the edging, you can choose to crochet with either color 1 or color 2. I'll demonstrate using color 1 as an example. First, make 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Then work a double crochet into the adjacent chain space. Next, pick up the stitch of the double crochet and work a double crochet, then continue working double crochets into chain spaces. 1 double crochet on the stitch, 1 double crochet in the chain space. Work this round completely. Keep going until the last chain space, which is the one to the right of the starting chain. Then join with a slip stitch to the third chain of the beginning chain. At this point, you can cut off the other yarn in advance. Hide the yarn tail at the back. Use a sewing needle to tuck it into the wrong side of the fabric. The first round of double crochets for the edging is now complete. We'll proceed to the second round of edging, which is also the final round. Make 2 chain stitches. Then work a double crochet into the same stitch, which is the starting stitch from the previous round. Then skip 1 double crochet stitch. Work a slip stitch into the third double crochet stitch, then continue with 2 chain stitches, work a double crochet into the same stitch, skip 1 stitch and work a slip stitch. Follow this pattern, 2 chain stitches, a double crochet into the same stitch. Skip 1 stitch, work a slip stitch into the next stitch, and follow this pattern to complete the round. This is the last one. Then join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain of this round. Finally, make one chain stitch, and stretch the loop. Cut off. Then tuck the yarn tail into the fabric using a sewing needle. The main part of the bag is now completed. As you can see, the color we started with is called color 1, and the color added later is called color 2. Then alternate crocheting 1 double crochet and 1 chain stitch, 1 double crochet and 1 chain stitch. During crocheting, you need to cover the chain stitches from the previous row while working double crochets. Crochet 2 rounds of edging. The main body of the bag is now finished. Next, we need to attach buttons and button loops at the bag opening. The approximate position is on the third to last round. We crochet the button loop on the middle post of the third to last round on the wrong side, then sew the button on the corresponding middle position on the right side. Now watch my demonstration. Take the edging yarn and make a slip knot. Adjust the size. Take our bag. The side with beginning chains on the wrong side may not look very neat. Crochet a chain stitch in the middle position of this side. Crochet the corresponding number of stitches. We can measure it. Align it with the starting position, then turn to the right side. It should fit properly with the button, so this length of strap is enough. After reaching the proper length, join with a slip stitch to the starting post. Make one more chain stitch, and pull up the loop. Cut the yarn. We can tuck these two starting yarn tails inside the fabric. Hide them inside the fabric using a sewing needle. Then sew the button on the front side of the bag. Next, let's sew the button using the cotton yarn from the kit. Choose a color close to the main part of your bag, and take one strand for sewing the button. Tie a knot at the end. This is the front side of the bag. We can turn it over, and hide the thread inside the fabric first. Then thread the needle to the position where the button needs to be sewn. Secure it on the fabric. Tie a knot. Tie another knot to secure it further. Insert the needle through the fabric and into the button. Secure it to the fabric. Sew it a few times. Then thread the needle to the back side, which is the inside of the fabric. Secure it. Then pass the needle through the fabric several more times. Trim off the yarn. The button is now sewn on, flip the loop over to fasten it. Next, let's learn how to crochet the strap. The strap requires 2 strands of yarn, meaning 2 threads twisted together as one for crocheting. Since the strap is long, here's a method to take the right length of yarn. We can use either color 1 or color 2 yarn for crocheting the bag strap. Take 1 strand from the inside of the skein and 1 from the outside. Twist them together to form 2 strands, then take about 5 meters of this doubled yarn. Once prepared, place the doubled yarn below. Keep the yarn connected to the skein above. Then make 1 chain stitch. Now let's crochet the bag strap. Wrap the yarn from top to bottom around the crochet hook. There are now 2 loops on the hook. Hook out the working yarn above and make 1 chain stitch. Then continue wrapping the bottom strand around the hook and make 1 chain stitch. Crochet this way to achieve your desired strap length. For demonstration purposes, I'm making a short sample swatch here. Once reaching the corresponding length, gather all 4 strands and pull through all loops at once. Leave about 10 centimeters and cut off the yarn. Gently tighten. Then use a sewing needle to hide the yarn tails inside the fabric, one by one. Just thread it through. Give it a slight twist. Then trim off the excess tails. For the remaining 3 strands, hide them in the same way. This is what the completed strap looks like. Now thread it through the chain spaces on the bag sides. You can thread from inside the bag outward, then tie a slip knot, wrap it around like this. Then pull it back out from the inside. On the other side, thread out from the inside as well. Tie a slip knot. This creates a moving strap that you can adjust the length of. Both sides are adjustable. That covers the main crochet technique for the bag. The decorations mainly consist of Santa fabric and other small decorative elements. First, crochet the Santa fabric piece, then glue it onto the main bag body with hot melt glue. Attach the eyes, nose, pom-poms, snowflakes, and rhinestones. Next, watch me demonstrate the method for crocheting the Santa fabric piece. Now let's learn how to crochet the Santa fabric piece. Here I'm using cotton yarn for demonstration with random colors. For specific yarn details and hook size, refer to the corresponding paper instructions. First, start with an adjustable magic ring. Pinch the crossing point with your left thumb and middle finger, then make a chain stitch to secure. This stitch doesn't count as a stitch. Chain 3 for the turning chain of the double crochet. Next, work 11 double crochets into the large space. Including the turning chain, this makes a total of 12 double crochets. Then, place a stitch marker on the post of the second double crochet. This marks the insertion point needed for later crocheting. This is the first stitch. Second stitch. Continue crocheting the remaining double crochets. Slightly stretch the loop. Then tighten the yarn tail from the beginning chain. Count the number of stitches to check. Join with a slip stitch into the third chain of the turning chain. Pull tight. Leave about 10 centimeters of yarn tail, and cut it off. This is what it looks like after completing the first round. For the second round, we need to switch colors. Find the stitch loop of the first beginning chain stitch from the previous round and attach the yarn. Secure with a chain stitch. This stitch does not count as a stitch. Then make 3 chains for the turning chain of the double crochet. In the second round, work 2 double crochets into each stitch from the previous round. Then work 1 double crochet into the same stitch position, completing a DC 2 in 1. Continue working 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Similarly, place a stitch marker on the second stitch's double crochet post, preparing for future insertion. This is the first stitch, this is the second stitch. Next, work 2 double crochets into every stitch afterward. Complete this round while hiding the yarn tails as you go. Work 2 double crochets into the last stitch. Then join with a slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning chain. Pull tight. This is what it looks like after completing the second round. Next, we'll work the third row, make 3 chains, then skip 1 stitch. How do we find the skipped stitch? Earlier, we marked the second stitch of the previous round. The top part is the double crochet stitch. Skip this stitch and work a slip stitch into the DC stitch to its left. Don't pull tight on this slip stitch, then continue with 3 chains, skip 1 stitch, and work a slip stitch into the next. This row requires 6 pattern repeats in total. One pattern, 2 patterns, 3 patterns, 4 patterns, 5 patterns, 6 patterns. This is what it looks like after completing the third row. The fourth row requires working back and forth. First make 1 chain as the turning chain, then turn the workpiece. Work 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets, and 1 single crochet into the chain space from the previous row. This completes 1 pattern group, 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets, 1 single crochet inside the chain space. Next, work the same pattern into the remaining 5 chain spaces, 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets, 1 single crochet. Complete the rest on your own. This is what it looks like after finishing the fourth row, 6 pattern groups total. For the yarn tail on the wrong side, we can cut it off. Next, we'll crochet the fifth row, which also requires working back and forth. First make 1 chain as the beginning chain, then turn the workpiece with the right side facing you. Next, work a slip stitch into the stitch marker we placed earlier, the second double crochet post from the second round. Do not pull tight on this slip stitch. Then work 3 chain stitches. Next, skip 1 double crochet to the left of the stitch marker from the second round, and work a slip stitch into the double crochet post. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Then skip 1 double crochet. Work a slip stitch into the double crochet post. Following this pattern, we need to complete 5 groups total. Finish the remaining 3 groups on your own. This is what it looks like after completing the 5th row, 5 groups total. Next, we'll work the 6th row, make 1 chain as the beginning chain, then turn the workpiece. With the wrong side facing you, flatten the pattern we just crocheted. Next, work 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets, and 1 single crochet into the large chain space of 3 chains. Just follow the previous pattern to complete this row. This is the last pattern group. 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets, and 1 single crochet. This completes the 6th row. Now we'll work the 7th row. Make 1 chain as the beginning chain, then turn the workpiece. With the right side facing you. Next, we need to work into the post of the first marked stitch marker, which is the second double crochet of the first round. Work a loose slip stitch on this post. Then 3 chains. Next, work a loose slip stitch into the post of the long stitch, on the left side of the marked stitch marker. Three chains to join. Continue working a slip stitch into the post of the long stitch to its left. 3 chains. Finally, work 1 more slip stitch. Same as inserting into the adjacent long stitch. This completes the 7th row. Now we'll work the 8th row. Make 1 chain as the beginning chain. With the fabric facing us, then turn it over, and press down the 2 layers of lace trim. Next, work the pattern of single crochet, and double crochet into the 3 chain spaces, 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets, 1 single crochet. Complete it on your own. Work 3 groups here. This is the second group, 1 single crochet, 3 double crochets, 1 single crochet. The last group. Then chain 1, pull the yarn tail long, and cut the yarn. Santa's face and whiskers are now completed. For excess yarn tails, use a yarn needle to hide them on the wrong side of the fabric. Hide them neatly on your own. Next, we'll work Santa's hat. First, with the right side of the fabric facing you, the side with the whiskers, locate the outermost round of the whiskers, the 3rd round, and find the last slip stitch of that round. This stitch. This is the stitch. Skip 1 stitch to the left, then join yarn in the next double crochet stitch. The joined stitch doesn't count as a stitch. Make 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain for double crochet, then work 5 double crochets. Work 1 double crochet in each stitch, including the beginning chain stitch, totaling 6 double crochets. Next, work 1 half double crochet in each of the following 2 stitches. 1 stitch, 2 stitches. Then work 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches to the left. Finally, work a slip stitch, not tightened, in the 3rd chain stitch of the main part 2nd round starting chain. This is the crocheting method for the first row of the hat. Then, I placed a stitch marker on the last single crochet stitch. On the right side, the stitches are slightly to the right. Now we work the second row of the hat, chain 1 as beginning chain, turn the work. After turning the work, the stitch from the previous row moves to the left. The marker spot I placed marks the position of the last single crochet. At this point, the stitch marker can be removed. We work 1 single crochet in each of the last 2 single crochet stitches from the previous row. Work another single crochet in the next stitch, making 3 single crochets in a row. Then work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches to the left. First stitch, second stitch, third stitch, fourth stitch. After completing 4 half double crochets, work 1 double crochet in the stitch to the left. Next, work 1 half double crochet in the stitch to the left. Now we've completed the second row of the hat. Let's move on to the third row. Chain 1 as beginning chain, then turn the work. Work 5 single crochets. First stitch, second stitch, third stitch, fourth stitch, fifth stitch. Then work 5 slip stitches, not tightened, matching one stitch to another. One, 2, 3, 4. The fifth stitch is in the beginning chain position. If you're not sure, just continue crocheting to the left. 5 slip stitches. Then work 5 chains. Pick up the half loop in the second to last chain stitch, work 1 single crochet, then work 3 half double crochets on the half loops of the chains to the left. Work 1 in each chain stitch. Three half double crochets. Finally, join with a slip stitch at the connection point of the previous row. Tighten. Pull a large loop. Cut off. Hide the excess tail on the wrong side of the fabric. With this, the first 3 rows of the Santa hat are completed. If the chain space at the starting point is slightly large, don't worry, we'll glue the nose over it later. Of course, you can tighten it slightly while crocheting the front part. Next, we'll crochet the last row of the Santa hat, which requires switching colors. Insert the hook at the connection point between the brim and the whiskers. Join new yarn. Tighten. Then make a chain stitch. Here we need to crochet reverse single crochets, which means working in the opposite direction, toward the right. As you can see, turn your work, and insert the hook into the stitch on the right, draw the yarn through, leaving 2 loops on the hook, then complete the stitch normally. Rotate the hook again to work the stitch on the right, make a single crochet, this is the reverse single crochet. Let me demonstrate again. Rotate the hook, insert into the right side stitch, draw the yarn through, and make a single crochet. Continue this method along this edge, where these are chain stitches. If you can't find corresponding stitches, just work randomly as long as it looks even. Keep making single crochets toward the right. This is the reverse single crochet. Continue working along these stitches until you reach the edge. Work 1 single crochet per stitch. Only work up to the edge. You can also make 1 single crochet on the side seam, where the beginning chain starts. Then work 2 half double crochets at the edge. Also make 1 double crochet stitch on the right side of the beginning chain. There's no strict stitch count required, just keep it even. You can also work 2 single crochets on the starting chain post, and finally work 1 single crochet, where this stitch meets the main face fabric. Then pull the yarn tail long and fasten off the yarn. Finally, use a yarn needle to hide the tail into the wrong side of the fabric. Attach the completed Santa crochet piece to the main bag fabric using a hot glue gun. Glue on the eyes, nose, pom-poms, snowflake decorations, and rhinestones on top. You can place these decorations according to your preference. Up to this point, the crochet method for this phone pouch is complete.